You know, your Windows 10 computer is kinda living on borrowed time. But what if the best way forward isn't forward at all? What if the perfect upgrade is a secret, stripped-down version of the very operating system you're using right now? Let's unlock that secret door.
So Microsoft has officially put its foot down. They once called Windows 10 the final version of Windows. But yeah, that's changed. They've set a firm end-of-life date. The clock is absolutely ticking. And for millions of us, that's a serious problem.
Go ahead and circle this on your calendar. After October 2025, most versions of Windows 10 are just done. They won't get those critical security updates anymore, which leaves your system wide open and unsupported. And this isn't some far-off, distant future thing. It's right around the corner.
And that's the big question, right? You're basically at a fork in the road. Do you just risk it and stay on an OS that's no longer getting patched, or do you go down the path Microsoft is shoving everyone towards? Turns out, both options have some pretty serious drawbacks.
Okay, this is where the dilemma really kicks in. You're being forced to make a choice, but honestly, neither of the obvious options feels like a win. Let's break down exactly why.
So on one hand, you could just stick with Windows 10. But without security updates, you're pretty much a sitting duck for viruses and hackers. On the other hand, you can upgrade to Windows 11, an OS that, let's be honest, a lot of people feel is a step backward. It's bloated with stuff you don't want and has hardware requirements your PC might not even meet.
And the frustration with Windows 11 is totally real. It's not just about the bloatware or the new interface. For so many people, the biggest roadblock are those super strict hardware requirements. We're talking about things like a TPM 2.0 module and secure boot, which locks out a huge number of perfectly good PCs.
This quote right here, it nails a critical problem, especially for the massive gaming community out there. This isn't just people being stubborn. For gamers, some anti-cheat systems in big titles like Valorant just will not run on Windows 11 without that specific hardware. It literally forces them back to Windows 10, leaving them totally stranded when support ends.
But hold on, what if this isn't a dead-end street? What if there's another path, an official one from Microsoft that solves almost all of these problems, one that gives you security, killer performance, and complete freedom from all that bloat?
Now, this isn't some sketchy, unofficial hack, and I'm not telling you to switch to Linux or something. This is a version of Windows 10 that you've probably never even heard of, but it might just be exactly what you've been looking for.
So let me introduce you to Windows 10 LTSC. It stands for Long-Term Servicing Channel. All you need to know is that it's basically Microsoft's official, stripped-down, no-nonsense version of Windows 10. They build it for things like ATMs and medical equipment, mission-critical systems that need rock-solid stability, not flashy features. No bloat, no ads, just pure Windows.
The whole idea behind LTSC is simple. Less is more. By ripping out everything that's not absolutely essential, you get a faster, lighter, and more secure operating system. And you can see the benefits right from the get-go. I mean, just look at the difference when you install it. It's staggering. A fresh install of Windows 10 LTSC can be as small as 18 gigabytes. Now compare that to a standard Windows 11 installation, which can easily swallow up 28 gigs or more. That's a huge chunk of your drive you're getting back, and it's the first clue just how much junk has been taken out. But here's the absolute killer feature: security. While normal Windows 10 support dies in 2025, the LTSC version gets security updates for much, much longer. Depending on which LTSC release you grab, you could be covered all the way to 2027, 2029, or even 2032. That is years of peace of mind.
So what does that less is more thing actually feel like when you use it? Well, it means a spotlessly clean start menu. No Candy Crush or weird apps you never asked for. No intrusive stuff like the Copilot AI or the weather widget cluttering up your taskbar. It's just your computer actually working for you. And hey, this isn't just for powerful new machines. The lean nature of LTSC means it absolutely flies on older hardware. We're talking smooth as butter performance on a 5th-gen i5 laptop with just 4 gigs of RAM. A system like that would totally choke on the full version of Windows, but LTSC runs beautifully. Okay, so it's light, it's clean, it's secure, but what about gaming? Does getting rid of all those background processes and services actually make a difference where every single frame counts?
To really get it, we need to talk about something more important than just average frames per second. We need to talk about frame time. See, FPS tells you how many frames you're getting, but frame time tells you how consistent they are. A nice flat frame time graph means incredibly smooth gameplay. A spiky, jagged one, that's stutter and lag.
So what do the tests actually show?
Well, in benchmarks across games from Valorant to God of War, the results are really fascinating. While the average FPS might look similar, LTSC consistently has higher 1% lows, which means fewer of those jarring frame drops, and most importantly, the benchmark shows the frame time is way flatter and more stable.
So the big takeaway here isn't that you're going to suddenly get 50 more frames per second. The real tangible win is in the quality of the experience. The game just feels more responsive, more consistent, and you get way less of that frustrating micro stutter that can completely ruin a competitive match.
All right, so we've laid out the problem, the annoying default options, and this really powerful third path. Now it all comes down to making the right call for you and your machine.
So who is this really for?
Well, Windows 10 LTSC is the perfect solution if you have an older PC that doesn't meet those crazy Windows 11 requirements. It's for gamers who care more about stability and a smooth experience than anything else. And honestly, it's for anyone who just wants a clean, fast, secure operating system that's going to be supported for years and years.
But I gotta be fair, it's not for absolutely everyone. Because it's so stripped down, some really specialized software, especially in fields like professional CAD or CAM design, might hit a snag. It's a pretty niche case, but it's something to be aware of if that's what you do all day.
And that kind of brings us to one last big thought. As more and more of us get fed up with bloatware and being forced to upgrade, what happens when a ton of people choose a less is more option instead? You know, if enough of us stay on a stable, long-term platform, it could send a really powerful message to developers and even to Microsoft about what we actually value in an operating system.
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell to the later update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end, and see you in the next video.